All right, first and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and highest honors to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Bakak Wadash. It's the brother Ariagi from the Grand Rapids camp. Um, First and foremost, we just like to put up this and just give thanks that the Most High Yahweh and His Son Yahweh Shai bless us to be here to put out this word. Um, Just grateful to be able to be in the fold and consider to be into the truth. All right, great millstone. So the Spirit brought me across this lesson or an article from World Truth TV.tv, and it's going into just truth of Bitcoin. All right, it caught my attention, and I'm glad it did because it's an awesome article. All right, says evidence points to Bitcoin being an NSA engineered psyop to roll out one world digital currency. Right, like the brother usually always goes into. When this first came out, it's pretty much that they're using this to set up the market of beast, a digital currency. Okay, and this is proof into it, a further view into it. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to assume the readers who make it to this article are well informed enough that I don't have to go into the history of the global money changers and their desire for a one world currency led by the Rothschild family, which would be the 1%. Okay, that's all that is, and they want to make a one world currency, or they want to imitate Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai by, in their minds, creating a one world currency that could be constantly tracked at all times, and you would pretty much have to receive a mark to have these things, right? Which should be in your right hand or your forehead. And that's which is Revelation 13 and 16. Continuing on. If you don't understand the goal of the globalist banking empire and the coming engineered collapse of the flat currency system, you're already about 5,000 posts behind the curve. With that as a starting point, it's now become increasingly evident that Bitcoin may be a creation of the NSA and was rolled out as a normalization experiment to get the public familiar with digital currency. Once this is established, the world's flat currencies will be obliterated and an engineered debt collapse. Right? So all of these things is happening with this cryptocurrency was something that was already planned. So this isn't some new thing. This is something that's actually been out and concocted years ago. Continuing on. Then replace what government approves cryptocurrency with tracking of all transactions in digital wallets by the world's Western governments. Right, now, if you know who the world's Western governments are, starting with the United States of America and going all the way down to UK. All right, even in Canada, but the heads of that will be America and the UK. NSA Mathematics detailed digital cash 2 decades ago. What evidence supports this notion? First, take a look at this document entitled "How to Make a Mint: The Cryptography of Anonymous Electronic Cash." This document, released in 1997, yes, 20 years ago, detailed the overall structure and function of Bitcoin cryptocurrency. All right, so this isn't some new thing. Okay, this was established all the way back in 1997. Continuing, who authorized the document? Try not to be shocked when you learn it was authored by mathematical cryptographers at the National Security Agency Office of Information Security Research and Technology. NSA, in other words, detailed key elements of Bitcoin long before Bitcoin ever came into existence. Much of the Bitcoin protocol is detailed in this document, including signature authentication techniques eliminating crypto coin counterfeits through transaction authentication. Authentication and several features that support anonymity and untraceable or untraceability of transactions. Right. So, when you look at a lot of these mob movies and even a new movie with Tom Cruise, what was it called? What is it called? The American something, I don't know. I forgot, but it's the newest movie where it turned out that he played the role of that pilot, the Edomite pilot that was helping Pablo Escobar and the Medellin cartel move weight in and out of the United States undetected. Let's see. The document even outlines the heightened risk of money laundered that's easily accompanied with cryptocurrency. Because it's easier to launder money, like I was saying. If you would see that in the new movie with Tom Cruise, you'll find out that, he had to launder all this money. It got to the point where in this local town in Arkansas, they took the amount of money that he was making and they put it into the main vault and that's how much money he was getting. And they put the people, other customers there, they put their money they had to make them a separate vault. So they gave him the main vault and gave all the rest of the customers that come to that bank the other vault, a new vault, so to speak, a smaller one. So this makes laundering money a whole lot easier, washing it, so to speak, and making it seem like it was clean. It also describes secure hashing to both one-way and collusion-free. Although Bitcoin adds mining and a shared peer-to-peer blockchain transaction authentication system to the structure, it's clear that the NSA was researching cryptocurrencies long before everyday users had ever heard of the term. Note, too, that the name of the person credited with founding Bitcoin is Satoshi Nakamoto, which is reputed to have reserved 1 million Bitcoins for himself. Millions of posts and online threads discuss the possible identity of Satoshi Nakamoto, and some posts even claim the NSA has identified Satoshi. However, another likely explanation is that Satoshi Nakamoto is the NSA, which means he is either working for the NSA, is a sock puppet character created by the NSA for the purpose of this whole grand experiment. Alright, so this is all an experiment that's taking place. Now, I watch RT pretty much every day, and Al Jazeera and CNN and stuff like that. And you see this big boom that's happening so far as this Bitcoin, which the apostles have brought out that it's just a bubble waiting to pop. You get what you're supposed to get, then you jump out of it, right? Well, for the majority of these countries, like Venezuela, starting their own cryptocurrency. Same thing with Russia and China, okay? Because they're all preparing, they're all in agreement so far as this new world order. Even though, with these cult of personalities they have set up, like Kim Jong-un and Donald Trump, all right, they all are in some ways colluding with each other to push this new world order, this currency. And at this point in time, that may be some of the things they're actually in agreement on, yet somewhere down the line, the Most High is going to increase that enmity against, between them, and, they're going to go to war with each other. Real war, starting with the U.S. All right, continuing on, then we're going to turn to some scriptures. The NSA also wrote the crypto hash used by Bitcoin to secure all transactions. On top of the fact that the NSA authorized a technical paper on cryptocurrency long before the arrival of Bitcoin. The agency is also the creator of the SHA-256 hash, upon which every Bitcoin transaction in the world depends. As the Hacker News explained, the integrity of Bitcoin depends on the hash function called SHA-256, which was designed by the NSA and published by the National Institute for Standard and Technology, NIST. THN also adds, right, so, and this is crazy because all of this stuff has already been established 20 years before it even came into existence, you know, because we're not ignorant of the devil's devices, man. Okay, so this is a device that was already implemented long ago. Let's go ahead and read on. If you assuming that the NSA did something to SHA-256, which no outside researcher has detected, what you get is the ability, with credible and detectable action, they will be able to forge transactions, right? So outside of keeping all of the common men or the middle and lower class in derision, right, in constant poverty, they're taking their money, applying it to themselves, and taking a cryptocurrency to fund their war efforts. So this new bill that Donald Trump just passed, the tax bill, is actually made for that money, the taxpayer dollars, to line the pockets of the 1%, and they're using the cryptocurrency to fund this war effort. Continuing on, the really scary thing is somebody finds a way to find collusion in SHA-256 really fast without brute forcing it and using lots of hardware, and then they can take control of the network. Alright, so this is all set up just to be taken over later, because it's another article I had seen that was very interesting so far as one. Someone just took a vast amount of millions from somebody else's through various cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin, and they weren't able to track them, right? So you're already seeing details and signs. They're pretty much running their test runs, their dry runs, right? Getting ready for the big one, so to speak. In other words, if SHA-256 hash, which was created by the NSA, actually has a backdoor method for cracking the encryption, it would mean the NSA could steal anybody's Bitcoins, right, whenever it wants, right? Because we're not ignorant of the devil's devices, right? So they created a backdoor just so they can come together and take various amounts of Bitcoins out of all of these different Bitcoin users' accounts to fund something greater. All right, and it's a mysterious thing to them. And they can do this, like I said, whenever they want. Call it 0 day. The same article written by Mohit Kumar mysteriously concludes, even today it's too early to come to conclusion about Bitcoin. Possibly it was designed from day one as a tool to help maintain control of the money supplies of the world. So this is just another ploy to continue for the U.S. and those that's in collusion with it, or the beast, so to speak, which is EU and NATO combined, for them to control this money currency to a whole nother level. Reading on. And with that statement, Kumar has indeed stumbled upon the bigger goal of all this, to seize control over the world money supply as the fiat currency system crumbles and is replaced with a one world digital currency controlled by globalists. So this is all going down the line to control these fiat currencies and turn it into a digital fiat currency, which makes it easier because they don't have to continue to print out this dollar and keep track of this dollar. When it's a cryptocurrency, you can access that anywhere that you have a computer or a server connection. Continuing on. Think cryptography is bulletproof? Think again. At least you think that the cryptography and the cryptocurrency is secure and bulletproof. Consider this article from the Hackers News. Researchers cracked 10 24-bit RSA encryption. Continuing on, which states the attack allows an attacker to extract the secret crypto key from a system by analyzing the pattern of memory utilization or the electromagnetic outputs of the device that are emitted during the decryption process. So it's nothing for them to break into something that they created, so to speak. Continuing on so we can get to these scriptures. Note importantly that this is it says, in fact, encryption layers are cracked on a daily basis by clever hackers. Some of those encryption layers are powering various cryptocurrencies right now. Unless you are an extremely high-level mathematician, there's no way you can know for sure whether any cryptocurrency is truly non-hackable, right? So there's no foolproof plan to figure out if this is the more secure choice, all right, because it's all connected to the same root. It says, in fact, every cryptocurrency becomes obsolete with the invention of a large-scale quantum computer. Once China manages to build a working 26-bit quantum computer, it can effectively steal all bitcoins in the world, plus steal most national secrets and commit other global mayhem at will. Right, because right now China currently has the strongest supercomputer. So all of this is set aside in their mind as to be in the race of the next world power to build a computer which can control all cryptocurrency. They can hack in and out as they choose. See, many are the plans of a man's heart, only the Lord's will prevail. Continuing on. 10 steps to crypto tyranny, the big plan of the globalists and how it involves Bitcoin. All right, now this is very interesting. Pay close attention. In summary, here is one possible plan by the globalists to seize total control over the world's money supply, saving taxation and financial transactions while enslaving humanity. And it all starts with Bitcoin, right? Because Bitcoin is the catalyst so these things can actually roll out. This is why you see this big explosion in late 2017 of Bitcoin. You got teenagers that got rich off of that, millionaires and stuff. You think they want to give up that money? No, man. Roll out the NSA created Bitcoin to get the public excited over a digital currency, which is happening now. That's part of that bubble because they're excited about this digital currency. They're going ham about it. Niggas is in it. Whenever Jake gets into something, it must be big, right? 2. Quietly prepare a globalist controlled cryptocurrency to take its place. JP Morgan, anyone? Right, because they already have another cryptocurrency set aside that all these other nations have agreed upon. We just don't know the name of it. It's not going to be Bitcoin because all these other nations have ideas of calling their different cryptocurrency different names. This is all a ploy. Continuing on. Initiate a massive global scale false flag operation that crashes the global debt markets and sends fiat currencies down in flames. Hoax alien invasion, hoax North Korean EMP attack, mass distributed power grid terrorism network, etc., which they have been running different experiments on. If you remember, back when it was still warm, about to get cold, they had that everybody was worried about this blackout that was supposed to take place, right? Okay, because they would supposedly preparing or as an exercise as to the mass distributed power grid terrorism network exercise, so to speak. Which just shows you that all of these experiments they're doing on the so-called common man is all exercise with the wicked hand because they have an agenda placed forward. Continuing on. Or blame whatever convenient enemy is politically acceptable. North Korea, the Russians, little green men, or whatever it takes, right? And they're hitting hard at North Korea and Russia right now. So those could easily be the targets that they used to claim these things, to bring these things to pass. And I had read in A Pale White Horse about the little green men that they refer to, or the chariots that you see in the sky now, so-called UFOs, which are IFOs, identified flying objects, according to the King James Bible. And they actually have it set in their mind to, you know, fake one of these events so that they can use it to bring everybody together in their fear. Something global. It has to be something on a monumental scale that can bring everybody together. And the increased sightings of these different chariots has really been terrifying these devils, but making those of the hopeful elect excited. See, because it's another one of their crafty devices. Alright. It says, allow the fiat currency debt pyramid to collapse and smolder until the sheep will get desperate, i.e. Venezuela-style desperation, with people eating out of dumpsters. And I mean, in one of the videos, if you look down the list on the page, you'll see that that wasn't the only thing that they was eating out of. They was eating human flesh, right? It's still, I mean, to this day, most likely because the Most High did that to them. Okay? Continuing on. With great fanfare, announced a government-backed cryptocurrency replacement for all fiat currencies. Right, so every nation is having a so-called, except for the so-called yuan, which is going up and down in value on the stock market as well, because we know that the 1% plays to that. All right, they play the up and down stock market. They the ones that cause that. All right, even the constant increase and decrease in the value of silver and gold. All right, so they set this aside so they're all in unity, or unity, excuse me, in this next cryptocurrency that takes place. For all fiat currencies. See what's going on with India and their fiat currency collapsing. The EU, Germany, like, come on, man. It's all here, especially starting with the dollar. And position world governments as a savior of humanity. Allow the desperate public to trade in their fiat currencies for official cryptocurrencies. Right. Because they will be willing in that day to trade in all of those things easily. Because they're like, hey, my dollar ain't worth shit. You wake up one day and you find out that your dollar is not worth shit. You're going to be like, hey, man, fuck it. I'll do what I got to do. Because my family got to eat, nigga. I got to eat. All right? And by doing so, you're going to fall right into it because you have to receive that mark. Well, let's go on to that mark first. Okay. Niggas, and then like I said, they use public and had official figures to usher it in. So all your stars and these star athletes and your pastors and shit, your neighborhood leaders is gonna actually fall for that if they not already down, and they're gonna help usher that thing in and get a lot of you 2/3 niggas to fall down as well. It's Revelation 13 and 16. And he calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark on that in their hand or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell save he that hath the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name, which is 666. All right, because that's man, worshiping man. Man creating man, worshiping man. Like, if you can go down the line, you can figure out different paths that 666 takes, because, you know, 6 is a number of men. These devils worship men, which is the elites. And they want to become God, so to speak. So we know that 3 is a holy number, that Trinity, that number, the 3. All right? And in it being that 3, because Yahweh Shai and the Holy Spirit are all in agreement over these devils, or these 1%ers, which is starting with the Rothschilds and their riches. All right, and you won't be able to buy or sell or do anything outside of that. All right, so This is 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. And that son of perdition is all that man that's revealed. The son of perdition has already been revealed, because the whole world has one thing in common. The problem with the so-called white man or Esau, because even those that were confederate against us and that were in one agreement, Uncle Esau and went around and fucked them over and constantly backsliding on the agreements that he's made with them. He showed them that, he's the devil. Everybody knows it. That's why all of those nations are going to shoot missiles on this place in the time to come. Because everybody has an understanding that these devils, especially as a head, they got to go, man. Because they are far too wicked. They'll destroy themselves just to get a profit. Continuing on, 2 Thessalonians 2 and 4, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called Yahweh, and that is worship, so that he, as Yahweh, sitteth in the temple of Yahweh, showing himself that he is Yahweh. Right, going all the way back to Antiochus Epiphanes. Okay. History of the pieces, so. Alright. So the abomination would make us desolate is right here, coming back around. Because if this is the Roman Empire reincarnated, as well as Babylon and Egypt reincarnated and Sodom, then you got to understand that these things will also come to pass as well. These different prophecies, because history repeats itself. Continuing on. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 5. Remember ye not that when I was with you, I told you these things. And now you know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time, and that time is now. For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he that only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way. All right, because Bashim Yahshua is letting all these things take place. Until he be taken out of the way, until he be taken out of his rulership. All right, which is the so-called white man, or Esau, Uncle E. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh Bashim Yahshua will consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. All right, and the one that needs to be destroyed the most on this planet is the so-called white man. Because he's doing the most destroying, which, he has the blessing of the sword. So he's only doing his job. But the Most High got to come and stop him before he destroy everybody, including himself. Continuing on. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, right? Because he has this technology, that's his power. So he can put forth these signs and the powers and the lying wonders, because with his power he can make different signs and lying wonders. Okay, like the SpaceX program, they don't know if that was really a chariot or if that was Uncle Esau playing this joke with this Project Blue Beam or whatever have you, to play on the minds and pull on the heartstrings of those who are looking at times and what's going on, or just to keep the masses further confused. The 10th verse. And with all deceivableness and unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And so this truth is what saves, because it gives you a relationship with Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So, through all, those who are going to be deceived in unrighteousness, they're not going to be saved. They're going to fall and succumb to these different devices and be destroyed. Continuing on, the 11th verse. As for this cause, Yahweh shall send them a strong delusion that they should believe a lie. Right? What's the starting of that lie? That strong delusion is Christianity. All right, that was this plantation Christianity that was received in our captivity. all right, that's pushing that whole Christ and that Cesare Borgia, okay, as our Heavenly Father, not according to the scriptures. Also pushing that image of that devil and that he loves everybody, okay. And after this cause, they shall send them strong delusion that they should believe in a lie. It's another lie that cryptocurrency is a good thing. That's a lie. Everything is measured in silver and gold, but cryptocurrency somehow bypasses that. All right, that's another one of Esau's devices, or his power. It's just technology, and that's one of the technologies that they use. That they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. So whoever gets down with this cryptocurrency and this chip, so to speak, that this cryptocurrency is ushering in, then hey man, it's all done for you. You damned. Because you don't believe the truth. So, you get this mark of the beast. Then it said, but you had no pleasure in unrighteousness. So, you had no pleasure. You had pleasure in unrighteousness. Excuse me. Continuing on to the 13th verse. But we are bound to give thanks always to Yahweh Shem Yahushua for you, brethren beloved of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because Yahweh hath from the beginning chosen you to salvation, to the sanctification of the spirit and belief of the truth. And that's beautiful because those are the hopefully elect. Starting with the men of Great Millstone. I mean, we've been really pushing this truth forward in hopes that we are a part of that. Okay. So Proverbs 11:1. False balance is an abomination to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, but a just weight is his delight. All right, so they had different weights. They used to weigh gold and silver, the shekel, so to speak, to tell the amounts, because a troy ounce of silver, however it would be, or whatever the amount would be. And the Most High hates a false balance because you had a lot of cats that would do cats dirty with a false balance. And part of that false balance is this financial reserve note or this fiat currency. That's a false balance because it changes every day. The stock market changes every day. It fluctuates. Dow Jones. I mean, come on, man. These are the things that the Most High hates. Let's see. It says Proverbs 11:4. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but the righteousness delivered from death. So all of those that give up, they try to save their lives shall lose it. No, they lose their lives shall gain it. For Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Right, because life doesn't just have to be physical life. You lose your life, but to lose the life that you call the life in this kingdom. Okay? You're being established in the spirit. And a lot of people is not able to do that. To give up the past life just to be in this truth. They blind, so fuck them. Let's see. Deliver naughtiness. When a wicked man dies, his expectation shall perish, and the hope of the unjust man perisheth. That says Proverbs 11:8. The righteous is delivered out of trouble, and the wicked cometh in his stead. So this demon is going to, get so far in all of this, but the Most High is going to switch. He's going to switch everything around, so to speak, and those things are going to fall on them, starting with their elite and the elective art, starting with the elective art people. The 144,000 all the way to the rest of the 1/3. Everything is going to be transferred over into their hands under the leadership of Yahweh Shai. Let's see. Once again, Proverbs 20:23. diverse weights are an abomination to Yahweh Shem Shai, and a false balance is not good. Just read that. Well, if I did, then that's just the spirit, reiterating that. Amos 8:4. Hear this, O ye that swallow up the needy, even to make the poor of the land to fall. Who's the poor of the land? Middle class on the way down to the lower class. You straight up Native American Latinos and Negroes, starting with you. Saying, when will the new moon be gone? That we may sell corn, and the Sabbath, that we may set forth wheat, making the ephah small and the shekel great, and falsifying the balances by the sea. Now, starting with our people, we used to get down like that in Israel, okay? And right now, this is going to the so-called Caucasian, so-called white man, all right, Uncle Esau. He's assuming this role as well in his kingdom now. That we may buy the poor for silver, and the needy for a pair of shoes, yea, and sell the refuse of the wheat. Right, because they have so many plans by this tax bill that's been passed. All right, they've also passed many other bills that we have no idea of, that hasn't been fulfilled yet. Because a lot of people still think that they have constitutional rights. Well, if you so-called Native American, Latino, or Negro, you only, 3/5 of a man. So you never were a man to begin with in their eyes. And so they have no problem buying you for gold and for silver. Buy the poor for silver, because what are they buying? Well, they bought us as slaves, but yet at the same time, they also propositioning you. So whatever position that you need, in these times to come, but when there's no more work for Egypt, all right, which is just present day Egypt is America, you're gonna be jumping to do any job that they have. Like they need border patrol agents by the thousands, all right, and they haven't filled their quota yet, but they will. Okay, and the needy for a pair of shoes, all right. Yeah, and sell the refuse of the wheat. Then the Yahweh Shem Shai is sworn by the excellency of Jacob. Surely I will never forget any of their works. Shall not the land tremble for this, and everyone mourn that dwelleth therein? And it shall rise up wholly as a flood, and it shall be cast out and drowned as by the flood of Egypt. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh Shem Shai, that I will cause the sun to go down at noon, and will darken the earth in the clear day. All right, and that's a return of Yahweh Shem Shai and the destruction of this place. All right, and like I said, hey, by noon, the sun to go down at noon. So hey, and in the daytime, everybody's really getting riotous, and they going to and fro. Just like when September 11th hit. All right, it happened in the noon, or before noon, because I remember it was before we went to school. And I would darken the earth in the clear day, and so that's them chariots, all the way down to that mushroom cloud. Let's continue on to a little more of this article, and then I'll get a couple more scriptures, and, we end it out. Continuing on. 7 says outlaw cash and criminalize gold and silver. Criminalize gold and silver ownership by private citizens. So they're making it, if you're a U.S. citizen, that you can't even own silver and gold soon to come. Okay? All in the name of security, of course. Right? But they'll find some reason to say, hey, all in the name of security, man, we got to take all gold and silver out of people's hands. They already got the gold stores on the corner. You're going to start seeing silver ones too, but hey, they'll be able to see who has it and who doesn't, who's purchased it in the past, all of these things, man. And guess what? They're going to come and get it. Because it's only the rich and their eyes deal in silver and gold, while everybody else deals in bullshit fiat currency or this digital currency. Number 8, criminalize all non-official cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, crashing their value virtually overnight and funneling everything into the one world government crypto, where the NSA controls the blockchain. This can easily be achieved by blaming a false flag event, see above, or some nation or group that is said to have been funded by Bitcoin, ISIS, the cryptocurrency used by terrorists. Right, and they're trying to say now that ISIS has dealings in that. Continuing on. Some bitch was funding ISIS as well, they said, through cryptocurrency, and they locked her the fuck up. Continuing on. Require embedded, here we go, man, right here. Require embedded RFID or biometric identifiers for all transactions in order to authenticate the one world digital cryptocurrency activities. Mark of the beast becomes reality. No one is allowed to eat, travel, or earn wage without being marked. Revelation 13 and 16. Like I just read, man. A one world currency or something that will cause everybody around the world to get this same mark will be a one world currency. Alright. Continuing on to 10. Like, oh man, that was a big one. Let me read that one more time. Require embedded RFID or biometric identifiers for all transactions in order to authenticate the one world digital cryptocurrency activities. Mark of the beast becomes reality. So they stay right there. Mark of the beast. So through the pushing of the teachings from One West, the apostles that originated from One West, there it is right there. Mark of the beast becomes reality. Because they know what that RFID chip is made for. No one is allowed to eat, travel, or earn a wage without being marked. So let's take it back just briefly. Revelation 13 and 16. And he causes all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, that no man may buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Right, that's a direct link. You know, that's the land backing off each other right there. That's big. That's big, man. Sorry. That's other endeavors, brothers. Should do your research on coconut oil lotion bars, soap bars. All right, but back to it. Like I said, hey, Mark of the Beast becomes reality, man. These are the times we in, and it may happen right here in 2018, hopefully, so we can get the fuck out of here, man. That's the difference between the hopeful elect and those that are not. That we praying every day that the Most High will come back, activate this shit, and get us the fuck out of here, man. And pray that we part of the elect, that our families and us may be delivered from this crazy shit that's gonna happen. 10. Once absolute control over the new world digital currency is achieved, weaponize the government tracked blockchain to track all transactions, investments, and commercial activities. Confiscate a portion of all crypto under the guise of automated taxation. In an emergency, the government can even announce negative interest rates where your holdings automatically decrease every day. So they still gonna be oppressing those with the chip. Changing the rate, so they can target one individual and just have all of their shit. It's no more hiding money into your mattress or keeping some gold, silver, bullion. Alright? Hey, motherfuckers that fuck around and, oh yeah, this nigga want to trip and he ain't doing what he's supposed to do, fuck with his money. They fuck with your money, a lot of cats get they bow the fuck down. So that's just another way that they can use that iron rod to keep your ass in order, even when you get the chip. This is Revelation 16:2. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sword upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. Damn, man. Hey, that image that they're looking forward to is that one world order. Right, and that grievous sore, because the Most High can fuck all of those. So that part of that grievous sore is all of those people that had that chip. You can make them start, they already had the ability to hit that button and cause infectious disease to kill your ass if you had a chip. They had the ability to fuck with your money and make it fluctuate if you ain't doing what they said to do with that chip. The Most High can make it seem, he can, however he may activate it, he can make it happen so where everybody that had that chip flip a switch in that and fuck all of these people up. All kind of grievous sores. Niggas start dropping dead, like in Kingsman 1. They had their chips in their shit and their head and shit. The head start popping off and shit. Just imagine that, man. Most High activate that chip on y'all and all these motherfuckers just start getting gangrene and all sick and all kind of shit, man. Or how these devils do it. And this is the final half of it. Says, with all this accomplished, globalists can now roll out absolute totalitarianism, totalitarian control over every aspect of private lives by enforcing financial blackouts. For those individuals who criticize the government, all right, so enforcing financial blackouts, they can take all your bread. They can do that as your bread is in the bank, but still the cash will be straight if they have them sold up in different areas, other people's accounts or hidden accounts, washed money. You can still do that with this fiat currency, but they want to set up a cryptocurrency where all of that shit is dead. They can put in place automatic deductions for traffic violations, vehicle license plate taxes, internet taxes, and thousand other oppressive taxes invented by the bureaucracy. With automatic deduction run by the government, citizens have no means to halt the endless confiscation of their money by totalitarian bureaucrats and their deep state lackeys. How do you feel about Bitcoin now, nigga? How will you feel about Bitcoin now? All of y'all just like Max Kaiser. I like Max Kaiser and watching him. How you feel about that, man? You probably throw that behind him because the devil don't care. Yeah, that's what it is, man. Hell, he might even be a Jake, but who give a fuck? Because they all for this cryptocurrency. He even invested in his own. So, Sirach 10 and 8, because of unrighteous dealing, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. And the kingdom of Esau is translated to the kingdom of Israel. All right? That's all it means, because the unrighteous dealings. This is all unrighteous dealings. First of all, giving us a fiat currency, then changing it over constantly, then constantly every day devaluing it, all the way until now, forcing them to get the beast, the mark of the beast. Injuries, plenty of cats got fucked up over financial currencies, physically and financially. All right, especially with these devils, they'll have some motherfuckers come collect their money one way or another. And what's a lot of the ways that they do it? Look at Wesley Snipes and these different Jake actors got hit with these tax liens. Now they have to Swiss beats over taxes. That's all they got to do is bring up some bogus charges, so to speak. And riches got by the sea, and the kingdom is translated from one people to another. 30, Sirach 10 and 30. The poor man is honored for his skill. The rich man is honored for his riches. Right. So it says the poor man is honored in his skill. Right, because one of these skills that's brought forth is his knowledge and his truth. And that's an honor from other brothers because the world is going to reject it. That's an honor from Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, the heavenly host, because the world is going to reject that. Or it can even be he's good at painting or whatever it may be, and the rich man is honored for his riches. He that is honored in poverty, how much more in riches? Because this is all a test. So that's why we in poverty, to see how we function. And Most High give you chances to accumulate vast wealth in your negative, whether it be wise or not, is for you to determine. But when it all comes down to it, it's all a test, man. And he that is dishonorable in riches, how much more in poverty? This devil, man, he's going to be a slave. He's going to be the ultimate impoverished one. And you're going to see how base he really is, because he's going to return right back to his base ways. Sirach 14:3. Riches are not comely for a niggard. And what should an envious man do with money? Right. That biggest nigger is Esau. And what should an envious man do with money? Shit, an envious man, this devil, he's envious of the birthright we was given. So, what good is it for an envious man to even have this bread? Because everything he has is never going to be enough. And it not being enough, he's going to strive forward to exercise his wickedness with his riches just to take and be unjust still in this world. Which the Most High has to come in, for everything to be back in balance and in order. Yahweh has to come back and Yahweh have him set forth to set these things in motion so we can return to the way everything is supposed to be. Sirach 21:4. To terrify and do wrong will waste riches. God damn. So what's Esau doing? He's terrifying it. First of all, he keeps up these false flag attacks to keep them in a constant state of terror. It says that's wasting riches. So they spending so much money put forth into these agendas that shit is wasting their riches. All so they can deceive and continue to be the devil that they are. All to keep everybody from knowing who the true 12 tribes of Israel is on a greater notion. But Yahweh Shem Yahushua cannot be stopped. Thus the house of proud men shall be made desolate. And what's the starting house? America. This place is going to be made desolate from nuclear destruction. Sirach 28:10. As a matter of the fire is, so it burneth. And as a man's strength is, so is his wrath. You strong as hell, you big strong dude, that nigga go ham, he gonna fuck up even more shit, right? As a matter of the fire, so it burns. So it can be a small ass trash can fire. It's gonna burn everything in that trash can. Not too bad, right? To a forest fire, like you see in California. Hey, that's tearing up a lot of shit. And according to his riches, his anger rises. Right, because these devils got so much money, like it said in Sirach 21:4, to terrify and do wrong will waste riches. Right. Well, it says right here, it says, and according to his riches, his anger rises. So as his anger rises, he seeks to invest and waste more riches into keeping everybody in a sense of terror, right? Because he's pissed off. But the devil cometh down with great wrath, knowing he had but a short time. It's stated in Revelation. And the stronger they are with contend, and more they will be inflamed. And the stronger they are with contend. And the stronger they are which contend, the more they will be inflamed. So right now, these Nephilim nations is contending with Esau, whether it be on a serious scale or just be part of an agenda, is going to turn serious. And they're going to continue to blow more money into their military like they're doing now. Also, it says to those they which contend, well, you got the men of Yahweh Shem Yahushua contending with the wickedness of the devil right now, to this day, as we push this truth. That's why they have to put holes on the internet, which is the internet neutrality, which they seek to actually push. Okay. And just a couple more so we can end this out. Ooh, this is Sirach 11:30. Like as a partridge taken and kept in a cage, so is the heart of the proud. And like as a spy watches for all they fall. Right, so it says like as a partridge taken and kept in a cage. All right, a partridge is a ground bird, a little ground bird, and they lay the biggest egg. At a comparison of body size, the partridge lays the biggest egg out of all birds. Now, physically, ostrich does, but in comparison to body size, the partridge does, in the sense that that egg takes up like 78% of his body when it's inside of him. All right, so as a partridge taken and kept in the cage, so is the heart of the proud. And like as a spy watches he for thy fall. And Yahweh Shem Yahushua has these devils already set aside watching for our fall, man. That's all they've been looking for um, since Jacob and Esau, since they lost their birthright. That was already promised to Jacob anyway. It says, "For he lieth in wait," the 31st verse, "For he lieth in wait and turneth good into evil." Right, because that, let's just say let's just sake of this lesson, good thing could have been that cryptocurrency because they thought it to be a good thing so they can get the world out of debt and start over with a clean slate and do it the right way. He turned good into evil. Right. And they're going to turn that cryptocurrency into an evil thing, which is the chip. But it was stabilized. It was already set up to do that in the first place. All right. Contrary to popular demand. It says, and in things worthy praise will lay blame upon thee. Right. Because the blame is finna come on these devils, man. The whole world's going to turn on them. Okay. It says 32. Of a spark of fire, a heap of coals is kindled, and a sinful man layeth wait for blood. All right, so it says a spark of fire, a heap of coals is kindled. What's that kindling? America is kindling them coals right now because the destruction of these places. The kindled coals is make them move around, stir it around, so America can get in between them and make them hotter. Right now, Most High is just he's angry with the wicked every day, so they pretty much stirring the coals for the destruction of this place. It says, "Take heed of a mischievous man. Take heed of a mischievous man, for he worketh wickedness, lest he bring upon thee a perpetual blot." That perpetual blot will be the deception, man, in these times to come. So if Esau deceives those of our people, because you're going to do that to the rest of the nations, and you're going to have a perpetual block, because you're going to have your head down in the kingdom. All right? Sowing to Daniel, the 9th chapter. All right? You're going to have your head down in the kingdom. Some to everlasting shame and contempt, man. And the last one, Sirach 10:3, "An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited." The power of the right, because the unwise king destroyeth his people. Let's see, Donald. All right, even more so, 1%, starting with the Rothschilds, they destroy their people for gain, to maximize their profit, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, because Yahweh Shem Yahushai is an authority. And who's going to be his authority figure? 144, starting with 144,000, all the way into the 1/3. The city shall be inhabited, because it's going to be re-inhabited in righteousness, man. I ain't talking about on America, because this is going to be a lake of fire. All right, and we just keep it real with those couple scriptures right there, because these are the days that we in. This is what's transpiring. So if you have your hand in that Bitcoin, it's probably time to get out of it. Like you said, that bubble's finna pop, and it's gonna fuck up anybody that it hits. So Bitcoin is set up to be part of the mark of the beast, or gonna set up to usher in the mark of the beast. So this is the truth on it that's coming out. You can see the article for yourself. Let's go back real quick. The World Truth. WorldTruth.tv. Evidence points to Bitcoin being an NSA engineered psyop to roll out one world digital currency. All right, so we are not ignorant of the devil's devices, and this is prophecy, brothers. So prophecy has been pushed forth. Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the water. Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the water. Yahweh Shem Yahushai, call along. The water, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, to water. All right, so all praises and highest honors to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone and all the brothers out there doing this work, starting with the brothers of Great Millstone, doing these works in truth and sincerity. Shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahushai by Hashem Rakak Wadash. Brother Aryaga from the Grand Rapids camp. tuning out after another prophecy. Shalom.